Well, let's get the old Ford fired up. So if we can get these things repositioned and get that box out of the back of the Tahoe. She ain't been started in a couple minutes. Well, I don't even know. A couple months maybe. A few months. There we go. Fired right up.
Old truck chilling in the driveway like an old friend who's got my back. Grab the keys from the kitchen wallet and smokes and head out back. Seats smell like old leather and a little like aftershave. Turn the key and hit the gas, yeah man, it's gonna be a hell of a day. Gravel crunching under big old tires as I pull out on the road. Engine making that roaring sound and I crank up the stereo. Bass comes in so sweet and low, I can feel it in my bones. I got nowhere to go, but this highway feels like home. The music makes me high. The bass drops deep inside. I feel like I can fly in my big old redneck ride.
Alright. Now we'll get the Tahoe. Yeah.
Feel the power as I hit the gas. I can feel that engine roar. Sunlight through the tinted glass, plush carpet on the floor. AC is blowing cold and the guitar sounds so good. Like being at a concert or a hoedown in the woods. Big subwoofers hitting hard, slamming my blues away. Might stay out a little late, drifting down this long highway. No one's gonna cramp my style, no one's gonna ruin my day. Let that guitar rip and roar, let them big woofers play. The music makes me high. The bass drops deep inside.
That's pretty good.
I feel like I can fly in my big old redneck ride.
This is still fastened down by brackets. All this part has to come out. These panels have to come out. And all the wiring over here worked out good, but that's all about to change. All of this is going to change completely. It's all getting totally done different, and it's going to be cool, and it's going to be loud. Okay, guys. The committee and I have come to a conclusion. Here's a few observations I'd like to make. The first observation is GM had no intention of these panels being removed from this vehicle, ever. The second observation is some asshole filled everything with poly expandifoam, and it is stuck like Chuck everywhere. I don't know who the hell that guy was, but he was an asshole. Third observation, although I've got to, in order to keep the headliner intact and not destroy it, you have to remove these panels. But the overhang is very small. So if you don't mind destroying the headliner, you can remove it without taking the panels down. These are things that I am considering right now. Hard. Well, I've made a corporate decision. The committee and I have discussed this at great length. I'm going to pull the back seats out, clean up all this wiring down here in the back and everywhere, and I'm going to build the enclosure to fit in this area. It'll extend to the back as much as it needs to, but I don't see any need in tearing out the back because, well, there ain't nothing going on back there. I don't need the space running 415s or even 418s. I can make do with the space inside the trim. I may end up going with my original plan with the headliner and just put in a piece of wood that goes up to the front and covers up the sunroof and leave the actual liner there, because it's all full of expandifoam anyway. It's not moving a lot, but main thing I want to do is cover up that sunroof so that it doesn't get blown out by sound pressure. That's my primary goal with that, and I think I can do that without even removing the headliner. The seat's got to come out though, so I got to figure out where I'm going to put it, and I haven't decided on the box yet, but it's going to go there. Now, if I totally organize the space in here in my little shed, I can put the seats in here, but they have to go over in that area, which means all this stuff that's in these boxes and stuff's got to get moved. That's the box that goes in the Tahoe, whatever. I had the seats and all that in there. And I've considered using it in the build, and I'll explain what I mean by that. It's kind of a possibility. So when we originally built that box, we built it to go in the back of the Tahoe and fit between the trim panels with some trim around it. Has the Chevy bow tie and the plexi back there. And I've apparently injured myself at some point. Didn't even realize it. Anyway, it is a sub-up port back box. Well, the ports are on the dressed up side, right? The side with the bow tie. So, in theory, I could load that box up as a B-pillar wall with the ports firing forward and the bow tie forward, the subs on top, and then build a cavity over it to create a parallel sixth order. I thought about that. That would mean using the 412s that I currently have. It is an option. That's the poor man's option, and I am a poor man. I've had the subs on Marketplace for a couple of days now, I've got a lot of interest, but it's all been low balls, big time low balls. I got them listed for $600 for 4. That's $150 a sub. That's less than half the normal new price. And the subs are in perfect condition, so it is what it is. And everybody wants to buy a 2 or 1, you know, for a low ball price. Anyway, I've got to sell those before I can buy other subs to go in here. I don't have the cash to just buy them on top of that. I've got to move that equipment to do it. I'm also going to be listing the truck, the Ford truck for sale. I'm going to put it up on Facebook Marketplace and see if I can get something out of it. I figure between the two, I can at least raise $1,300. We'll say minimum $1,000. That's enough to get the subs I need, plus have some material money left over, depending on what subs I get. If I run the B2s, I need $1,300 to buy them. If I run the NVX subs, I'm looking at a little over $800 to buy them. That's within my budget. If I run the Golden Eagles, I could almost do them for $600, 15s. But if I run the Golden Eagles, I'd probably run the 18s, which are, I think, 175 or 200. I don't remember. Anyway, I can get any of the economy subs with the money that I have from the sale of those two items without having to go into my bank any, which ain't deep. So I don't know. But these are the decisions we have to make. And I know that I'm pulling those seats out of there. And I know that I'm at minimum going to be reinforcing that roof. I had a lot more faith in my ability to do than I should have, because it's just, I'm just overwhelmed by it. I don't have the physicality to do a lot of the stuff I used to be able to do, and this cold is going to kill me this winter. But I just don't see the reason to have to remove all that stuff, because what I'm doing isn't going to take up that much space. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even if we're looking at 5 cubic foot per sub, which is more than most of them actually ask for on the large size, we're only looking at 20 cubic feet of airspace, minus the port, of course, and the subs and bracing and all that. It's really not that big of a box. If the one that was in there was 9 cubic feet, and I can get quite a bit bigger than that. Go back quite a bit further, because that one was sitting back there in the C-pillar, so I've got an extra like 4 or 5 feet front to back that I could build. So I don't see any reason why I would need that. I don't know. A lot of thinking to do. So after getting these covers off the back of the seats here, I got to looking at this bracket, and this bracket runs all the way up here, up to here, and here, and these bolts right here, this bolt and that bolt and 2 more bolts under there, have all got to come out There's a whole lot to these seats. The thing back here, this is part of the seat. That whole situation comes out of there. Whole thing. And it's on top of the carpet, and then there's another piece of carpet. What's on top of this carpet? And there's the other piece that fits. Yeah. Good times, man. Alright. It looks like this thing comes out all in one seat. And I'm sure there's plenty of you guys out there going, yeah, duh. Yeah, duh. But unless that separates, and that could be a separation here, and then that could be its own thing. But because there is this oddball bolt right here, and I don't see any welds, so that may be its own piece. But all of this stays attached to this, and yeah, so I gotta take that bolt out, that one, and that one. There's 4 there. That one there may join the 2 together, and then there's at least 1 on each side. Okay, there's also one under there, another clampy bolt, and there's another big one over there by that screwdriver. So there's 4 big ones up front, 4 big ones in the back, and then a couple of these little dudes, which may just serve to clamp the 2 seats together. That's my guess. So for those of you guys out there that have already done something like this in this vehicle, you can tell me whether I'm right or wrong, or how stupid I am. Regardless of any of that, one thing is for certain: these are heavy and they're fairly bulky, and before I pull them out of here, I gotta make a home for them somewhere. And then I also gonna probably need help getting, at least if they separate, getting this bigger one into its home. Because I mean, I don't know how heavy it is, but it doesn't look light. You know, it doesn't feel light at all.